Okay, so I'm testing out GDevelop app. Basically, during this like Christmas season, I made just simple platformer game, and just to check how it works, like how the this visual scripting works. So maybe like I wanted to check maybe it was to try to make something real on this engine. But basically, I think maybe I can try like several engines and maybe find the one that fits my needs and like easy to work with, because currently this one is not really easy to work with, because the logic sometimes is like too hard to understand to me. I don't know how to call it. By the way, I'm not English native, so I might have problems with like translated my thoughts from Russian to English. So okay, so I just gonna show how the game works and do a quick like review of the actions or conditions, just to not forget how it works. Basically, it's this video. I think I will make more of them. Will be kind of like my devlog for game development, because I wanted to start developing games like long ago. Like it's my, I want to make it my hobby. So because when I'm starting to do it, it always feels good to make games. But the problem was that I tried Unity, but it made like it works with C#, and I don't know this language. I know only JavaScript, just for web design, and some PHP. So it's not gonna work there. So in order to work with Unity, I will need to learn whole programming language, which is like not works to me because I don't have much time for it. So those visual scripting engines are much better for me, because I can spend some time like playing around with them and maybe make something real from them later. Okay, so let's try the game. The game is called Robin Quest, and it's about my cat. The idea was that my cat is really afraid of people when they come into my house. Like, I don't know why is that, but she hides somewhere from them. And we moved recently to another apartment, and there was worker guy who helped us with the kitchen, with the different stuff, with like handyman, and she was so afraid of him. So I decided to make a game when she's trying to find her toys. We will see one of them in the game, like instead of the coins, there's like the balls made from the fabric, and she really likes it. And at the end of the game, there will be this handyman, and she will need to defeat him. Okay, now I see that it's a reflection, I guess, to my worries about her. I know, Okay, so let's start. The game is really basic. Like, I just played around with the platformer, made some sounds and some like easy obstacles and enemies. So let's start. As you can see, also it's lagging a bit. I don't know what it's about, and also the timer is not done yet, so don't look that way. Okay, there's no enemies for some reason, because I guess I wanted to change the enemy's behavior. Oh yeah, here it is. Fuck. Okay. The problem is that I set default controls in the behaviors for the enemies, and when I move my character, like move with arrows, enemies like receive these commands too. So that's why it was so weird. Okay, let's try again. Fuck. Okay, and there's no sound now for some reason. And also, as you can see, the guy is not stopping after the death, because I haven't figured out how to make him stop. I was trying several ways to do it, but none of them are working, and I'm thinking maybe it will work to just replace the sprite. You know, when Robin jumped on the mushroom, it will get the coordinates and place new sprite with the dead mushroom there, and just remove the current one. So hope that will work. Okay, just skip them. Fuck. Well, the guys are pretty quickly. I mean, the guys are pretty quick, and I just made them like that tomorrow before I went to sleep, and haven't tested it. But as you can see, it's just not easy to catch the guy. Okay, let's go. Okay, yes. Okay, there's another, and the last one. Okay, and here you can see I don't know how this like chopped tree called. You know, I'm gonna call it chopped tree. Funny thing with them, you know, I made just one of them, like to place somewhere, but then we got stoned, and I just made like 6 more of them with the green like stuff. I don't know how it's called. And then my wife Ksenia did one too. Actually, she did this one. So okay, and here we have the boss fight. Looks pretty cool, right? But there's no boss yet. Okay, so that's the state of my game. Now let's check the events. Okay, so at first I'm hiding this special stuff. Then I am applying the animation, pretty basic. Then collision with the ball. Basically it's a coin from Mario or any other game like that. So what we're gonna do? When there's collision, we delete the ball, play the sound, and add 1 to the score. And here we show in the score in the interface. This stuff is flipping the the sprite of the player, you know, when you move in left, right. Okay, those for the mushroom, like when the mushroom is collided with this or this, different direction will be set for him. And then here you can see how the direction works. Here's the player's collision, pretty simple. Like when the player is on the floor, then the player is dead, and we begin with the intro scene. When the collision with the mushroom and there's player is falling, then I need to rebuild this one, because currently it's just something that I just was trying. Okay, water top, go to the intro, pretty basic, roots to the intro, and only when the player is fallen. So if I go into like these roots, like stand near them, I will not gonna like die. And here's the boss trigger. So I have centered camera on the player, like when I move around, the player always in the center. But for the boss fight I need to fix the scene, so I've created the object, like I added the boss trigger here. Let me scroll it. Okay. Okay, here's the boss trigger. Like when I jump here, a new object will be created behind the scene, but it will be invisible. So I'm hiding this object, and I'm stopping the sound, and I'm playing different one. And I'm deleting the boss trigger, because if I'm gonna have it every time that there's collision, all this process will be like running one by one. Okay, and there's if player is in collision with the background, we centering camera on the background instead of the player. And here's at the beginning of the scene, we making timer, but I haven't started much with this timer, so I have no idea how it works. I guess it will make sense to make some tutorial for it if I can find out how it works. Okay, so basically that's a review of my Christmas vacation. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.